Good evening, members. October 5th, 2021. I have three alts that I'm going to go over tonight, ETH, THETA, and FET. So let's start with ETH. So have a couple things to kind of keep an eye on here. First is this sort of ascending triangle that we had down here. This red line being the neckline right here, and the ascending line right there. We did break out of that at about 31.76, and the target for this is somewhere up here around 36.70, 36.90, somewhere in that region. So we are getting closer and closer to that. And as far as the fibs go, we have potentially this 1 and 2 right there. So I've got the fib drawn there, and we have a move into the 382 region, or the 1382 region rather, right here. This is pretty typical for a third wave to end in that region, and we may see, if Bitcoin extends as I want it to, we may see ETH extend as well, although it seems to be set to underperform Bitcoin, at least for now. So if we can see this extend to the 1618 at about 36.70, that'd be close enough to this double bottom target to count that as the end of a third, and then we would expect to see support as Bitcoin is pulling back in 4, ETH can pull back in its 4, and the support for that would be down in this region here. So that may provide a good scalp long opportunity down here, 31 to 32-ish, somewhere in that region, closer to 32.74. If we can get the top of this red box, we really should hold the top of that green box. And then from there, we should see a move up to about 37.57 to 39.21 from there for a fifth. So we have a couple things, like I said, playing out. We've got that ascending triangle and also potentially this impulse playing out here. And then same as on Bitcoin, once that completes, then I'm going to be looking for a pullback in order to start off our third wave, basically our next wave up. Now the same thing that I'm looking for on Bitcoin is actually, this is the 618 right here. That's what I was hoping to see on Bitcoin, is to go to that 618. It doesn't look like ETH is going to do that. That would be the ideal situation for it to do, but it doesn't look like it's quite going to get there. But if it does in fact get to the 618, if we can extend in these legs, that'd be even better for ETH. And then the buying opportunity after that would be substantially better even, because it would project even higher. So if we can get that and then buy the pullback at 3600-ish, then we're going to see a nice strong move off of that level. But regardless, if all we get is this region here and then we get a pullback down, it's still going to provide us with a pretty decent opportunity to buy, because I'm still looking for 6 to 9K on this from these levels. So that is my take on ETH at the moment. Let me go over to THETA, and I'm really only interested in the daily chart on THETA. So I'm going to swap over to my daily here. Reason being is this is making diagonal upwards here with all of these choppy ABCs. So it came down nicely into this green zone here, got some nice buys on it, and we're seeing a nice move off of those lows now. It's possible we get another dip down there, but with the strength of this move up, I think it's probably unlikely that we go all the way down, or at least probably not going deeper. But anything is possible when you're dealing with these. So in any case, we have our 1 in place and probably our 2 in place. So we can draw a fib extension, which is this red extension that I've drawn here, and get a target really anywhere between the 618 and the 1236 is typical for these moves, but it could go higher, and really we need to see it go higher than 1 here. So I'm going to put my target for this like 1 to 1382 is probably where we're going to see the next leg top out, right there around 13 to 19 bucks. That would make a lot of sense for this to be 1, 2, 3 up here, then we'll see 4 pull back, and then 5 finally should get us up into that target zone, and that'll be our nice diagonal, just like that. So ideally we get up here, you know, the higher we go in this leg, the better. The higher we go in this leg, basically the higher we'll be able to go eventually, but it doesn't change the fact that we'll still get a fairly deep pullback in that fourth wave right here. So that's what I'm looking at on theta. So far so good on it, for sure. I wouldn't really be looking to buy into theta necessarily at these levels. You know, this green box was certainly a good risk reward, but it's not quite as much right now. So the next buying opportunity would be basically after this is topped, then we can wait and see for an ABC to form, which is what I did here. Once I had A and I had B, then I can draw a box for C. So once we have A and B in place, then we can draw a box for C, and we can get some add-ons there for that next move up to the final target. All right, so that is theta, and then FET is also a diagonal, so I'm going to take a look at the daily chart. This is a little disappointing. Actually, let me go to the hourly, because that's where I had that breakout happen. So was looking for this to potentially be a pennant breakout. The volume even seemed pretty decent on it, but we are now failing that breakout. So as I said, this is really, I'm planning on just kind of holding on to this. I said if you're doing leverage, the stop really should be below this point here. But at this point in time, if you're leveraged, it may be wise to stop out now at minimal loss, and then potentially try to grab it lower. Like I said, I'm not going to do that because I just spot bought this, and I'm holding for these much higher targets. So that being said, I am going to average down on it. If this is going to fall, it's likely that that's A and this is B, and we've got another leg down in a C. So if it is going to fall a little bit further down, which the breakdown of that pennant kind of seems likely to do, then we're really going to expect, I mean, it's a wide range of support, but basically anywhere in this box here is where we can see an ABC go. So I'm going to just be looking basically to average down, maybe right around 43 cents, ideally. So I might skip this higher target at 56, but maybe like 51, 43, and 36. I might buy a little bit more just to kind of average down. So unfortunately, that's what that one is looking like at the moment, and we'll see what happens. But these diagonals are super choppy, and even if like that very well may not even happen. I mean, it could make a false breakdown right now and just pop up right from here. Who knows? Diagonals are incredibly difficult to track, but it is something that I saw today, that breakdown of that pennant, and I want to point that out to anybody who is in leverage on that anyway, that it may be wise just to stop out of that one and try to get a more favorable entry lower. All right, I think that's all I have for tonight. So good night, guys. I'll see you in the morning.